Hey, Double Tap family, welcome back to episode 6. Today we're going to be discussing current situations in Afghanistan, the good, bad, and ugly. And then we're going to get into another topic discussing family reintegration after service. Tune in.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Hey, what's going on, Double Tap family? Welcome back. Episode 6. We're going to jump right into it with our shot over, shot out. So, Tyler, shot over.
Shout out.
So, if money was not an object, give us the top 3 cars that you would purchase.
Well, damn. I mean, I'm a Jew, so I'm probably just going to pick the most expensive ones so I can fucking sell them. But 3 favorites, I would have to say definitely a 1967 GT500.
Eleanor.
Good old Eleanor. Yep. That's she's a beauty. After that, man, I would honestly probably just go with something like if I wasn't going to sell the cars, if I was going to keep the cars, I'd have to go with some kind of badass, probably like a 61 Lincoln Continental, suicide doors, just some gangster shit.
Sick.
Yeah. And for the third one, God, there's so many cars running through my fucking head right now, bro. There's too many. I don't know. I might be gay and just say I'm gonna go with like a Lamborghini Aventador or something, but I honestly think I'd probably pick something else like a badass Chevelle or a 442 Olds or just some kind of American muscle car,
Yes, sir.
A slammed C10, blown C10. I don't know. Something
Patina,
like that.
Patina, or would you actually do a paint job on it? There you go.
Oh no, leave that bitch rusted. Just clear it out.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. All right. So Josh, shot over.
Shot out.
All right. So this is a 2-part shot over, shot out. I want to know between an M249 Saw, M240 Bravo, and a Mod Deuce. Which one do you pick most tactical, and which one do you pick as favorite?
So my favorite is definitely 240 Bravo. I fucking love that gun. It's just a badass fucking weapon. If I had to go most tactical, I'd have to go with the 249 Saw, just because you can maneuver with it in tactics. So
tactically, it's very tactical.
So yeah, I would have to go with the 249 as the most tactical weapon, and definitely the 249. Nothing can replace Ma Deuce.
No,
but she is a heavy, big bitch.
That's a son bitch right there.
She is a big bitch.
Yep.
But nothing can replace Ma Deuce. But 240 has always been my favorite weapon, as far as a machine gun is concerned. But yeah, the most tactical weapon, definitely the 249. The Saw, baby.
The Saw, yeah. No, I hear you. I think it's probably the most tactical too. Mod that bitch out, fucking MK48 or whatever it is.
That was supposed to be a skill saw, making that sound, not
okay,
not replicating like a minigun or something like that.
You're terrible. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not the fucking guy from the movie Police Academy that can make all the fucking noises.
All the perfect fucking sounds. Yeah. I hear you.
So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we wish to offer our deepest and most heartfelt condolences to the families, friends, and loved ones of all of the 11 Marines, the 1 soldier, and the 1 Navy naval corpsman that lost their lives in the suicide bombing in Afghanistan. It was a tragic, terrible day. If I'm not mistaken, it was the worst one-day loss in Afghanistan since like 2011.
Yep.
So it was just a horrible, horrible day overall. In a time where, you know, America should be rejoicing that we're ending the war in Afghanistan. It seems to be just worse. We're worse for wear than we should be. And I just want to just give my or we want to give our deepest condolences to the families, because that's something that we don't think ever. Obviously, it should never have happened,
Yeah.
and it definitely could have been prevented.
Yeah. Definitely thoughts and prayers to all the Gold Star families. That's, especially now, I mean, yeah, it's obviously it's still war, and things can happen, but at this late in the game, you don't expect something like that to happen, because something like that shouldn't have happened. So I mean, what a blow that's got to be. I mean, I looked them up. I've been looking at their faces and reading their stories and just seeing, 20 years old, 20 years old, 20 years old, 23, couple 25-year-olds, just like, damn,
Yeah,
what do you say? It's just,
yeah, it's absolutely fucking tragic.
yep.
Um, and regardless of whatever you think or whatever your opinions are on the political climate and what's happening, even in Afghanistan, those soldiers, I've heard a lot of the people saying that they died in vain, and this and that. And I think that it's important, especially for, like you and I, Tyler, to kind of put out that those Marines, that soldier, and that corpsman, they all died for what they believed in. Whether or not we thought it was in vain or people thought it was in vain, they were definitely standing up for what they believed in. They joined for country, or they joined for brother and sister, or they joined for whatever reason they joined for. And they died as heroes because they were doing their jobs, and they were protecting their brothers and sisters to the left and the right.
Yep. And the Afghan people, I mean,
Absolutely.
you see all those videos. There was this Army Ranger on TV who'd been in for 20 years, been deployed like 15 times, and he said the absolute, just the level of fucking chaos and madness he had never seen on a scale like that. He's talking about how it was like 700-meter wide, what appeared to be like a mosh pit of just people being crushed, trying to push through each other to get to the airport, through the gates that the fucking United States of America's finest, their officers, their generals, the people that are there to win hearts and minds, who wouldn't open the fucking doors, not only for Afghanistan,
For Americans.
people, but
Yeah.
for actual Americans, busloads of Americans that they wouldn't let in. You got SF guys going over there, prayers going out to them, privately funded, trying to make something happen. Lots of French and British forces doing gun runs in the middle of the night in Kabul, trying to get people to save houses and shit. And I mean, I don't give a shit what your political view is. This shit is fucked. There's absolutely no reason to ever have this level of just blatant disregard for human life, let alone
American
Americans,
lives. Yeah.
to leave knowing that there are still thousands of Americans, and we'll see it. I mean, whether the media suppresses it or not, there's going to be hundreds, if not thousands, of American lives lost in this shit, and it boils my fucking blood. I mean, so many people still want to be PC, from the generals that are over there that don't want to lose their fucking commissions. Like, fuck you, man. Like, those
Yeah.
are American lives over there, and you are just straight up abandoning, like, that is the warrior ethos, and you're taking a political stance in a time of war where they should be telling DC to fuck off,
Fuck off.
shutting
Absolutely.
off comms, and doing what fucking needs to be done. But no, they're gonna sit there and cowtail and fucking do what needs to be done from DC's standpoint, so they can come home and have a nice cushy job still, and it's going to be paid for with the blood of Americans and a lot of Afghanis as well. So it's mind-boggling. It's just absurd.
Yeah, I just this whole fucking day, brother, has been a fucking whirlwind for me. Emotion and fucking anger and
Mhm.
just pure. I mean, at one point I just felt fucking rage.
Yeah,
Like and just like you said, the warrior ethos, we never leave a fallen comrade, we never leave a man behind.
yep.
And we're doing it on we're not just leaving people behind, we're leaving
A
thousands.
grand
And yeah,
scale. Yeah,
and there's a lot to be said for some of those retired operators that are going over there on their own fucking dime to try
yeah,
and get people out. But it's just a terrible fucking day. And on top of all of that, the Taliban were just taunting us, bro. They were literally flying helicopters with the bodies of dead fucking cooperators, the people that cooperated with Americans, flying our helicopters over our people, with innocent lives, or an innocent man hanging from the fucking helicopter just to prove a point.
yep.
Um,
But is that anything new?
no,
Surprise,
it's
surprise, It's what the
it's
fuck did you think they were gonna do? It's just I get it if you weren't there, you only see shit on CNN or Fox News or whatever you propaganda you fucking like to fill your head with. It's never gonna fucking make sense. The fact that our president would effectively give a known terrorist organization that we've been fighting for 20 years a fucking kill list of Americans and American allies in country to help them get out. I don't understand how that is not a war crime. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I'll never understand it either. I was having this conversation with several people throughout the past couple of days, and to me, this is and not. I mean, this is the exact equivalent of if we had fought the Nazis through the entire tenure of World War II, and then at the end, we basically gave them names of people that were still trapped behind enemy lines, and
Yeah.
we fucking just
Here's our
handed them over.
tanks. Here's the Poles that helped us. Here's the Italians that helped us. We're
Yeah,
leaving. Have whatever you want.
yeah.
What?
It's fucking insane. And for all of the people who keep fucking coming out of the woodworks and saying that this was Trump's plan, maybe it was Trump's plan to fucking get people out of Afghanistan. That was his goal. You're right. And he did set a goal of, I think, March was the deadline. However, I don't give a fuck what any of you say. He would have never signed off on something that left American people behind. And for
Nope.
goddamn sure, he wouldn't have left thousands of Americans in the hands of a fucking known terrorist organization.
Yeah. Or giving them the info on whereabouts or who or left the equipment. I mean, I heard they said, oh, now they're coming out because all the reports came out about the 86 billion worth of equipment they left. Now they're coming out with reports saying, oh, well, we destroyed like 100 or 150 pieces of equipment. Golf clap. Yeah, golf
Yeah.
clap. Good for you. Why in the fuck weren't all of those destroyed? Why weren't they brought home? And why didn't you fucking take a Predator in there and do fucking, okay, if you don't have the manpower to demilitarize all that equipment, get some fucking B-52s, get some fucking UAVs. We got the air power to do it. Go take care of it. It was all part of a plan that is yet to completely unfold.
Yeah, and you can't tell me they didn't have the fucking time and manpower to do it, because they knew. They didn't just wake up 2 weeks ago and say, "Oh, we're leaving Afghanistan."
Yeah, grab your bags. We're running. We're out of here. They knew.
No, the entire fucking time that the Biden administration has been in office, they fucking knew that they were going to do this.
Yeah, well, because they said this was Trump's plan. Okay, so you've
Right.
had how many fucking months to plan for this exit strategy that was Trump's plan, which by the way, you've changed everything fucking else that Trump has done. So the fucking caveat there is that obviously you're just using it as a fucking scapegoat, because we all know you're perfectly well enabled to change anything Trump did. But
Border
staying with
wall.
that, yeah, staying with that line of thought there, you were inaugurated January. It's now almost September. What happened in the last 8 months? What plan did you put in place? If you knew the date that we were leaving, what did you do for the 8 months that you were in office exactly?
Right.
Eat applesauce, take your pills. Cool.
Yeah, that's the whole situation is fucked. Like you said, there's busloads. I think there's a report from a CNN reporter, if I'm not mistaken, that came out that literally I think there was a busload of like 100 people, many of them American women.
I heard it was 7 buses of American women, and the
Yeah.
general wouldn't open the door. They got a hold of Major General Donahue. Nobody would help them. They got turned away. And as far as I heard from that journalist who reported this, was that they were taken by the Taliban. And most likely, presumably dead. Yeah.
Yep.
So 7 buses of American women, and God knows what they did to them before they fucking killed them. And that's what I'm saying. There's gonna be fucking instances of this shit over the coming months. And a lot of it's gonna be suppressed. You probably won't even hear about fucking half or a quarter of what actually fucking happened.
Not until some of those operators get back and start telling the real fucking stories.
True. Yeah. And then, pray for their lives too, because we all know what happens when you start speaking the truth. Yeah, they're stranded. Good luck getting back, which is what the army fucking told them. We're not going to help you. You got here on your own. You'll get out of here on your own. But even if they do get back, if they start speaking out the truth, are their lives still going to be in danger?
Suicided.
Yeah.
But it's been a very, very, very difficult pill to swallow. I'm fat, out of shape, fucking FO. But if money was no object, man, I'd have my fat ass in Afghanistan right now.
Right. Yeah, man. I think that's how a lot of fucking vets feel. Sit there eating your barbecue, drinking your beer, like fuck it.
Yep.
Get your shit. Let's go.
Yep.
Figure it out when we get there.
Gear up, brothers.
Yeah, it would be nice. Nice to do something more. But I mean, there are a lot of people out there. If you know what channels to tap into, there's a lot that can be done from here in the States. One of which is just spreading the truth, getting the word out there, getting people involved. There's ways that you can help fund these private groups that are going there trying to do stuff. I have contacts that are actually helping people. If you have somebody that in Afghanistan that's
trying to get out,
ally or whatever, trying to get out, that you can send them personal info, location, stuff like that. And they're trying to, like I said, I mean, since this shit started, the Brits and the French special forces have been doing gun runs every night in the city, trying to fucking get people to safe houses. So yeah, I mean, there's a shit fuck ton of Americans there now. I mean, we know of a couple SF guys fucking over there. I'd like to give them shout out, but
yeah,
probably not best to say any names or anything. But I mean, fucking, Godspeed to all of them. You're all in our fucking hopes and prayers. Fucking do your shit and get home safe. Hopefully they can get as many as they can out of there before those fucking gates closed. Which, by the way, the August 31st date was imposed by Biden, not even the Taliban. He said, "Give us till August 31st," and they're like, "Okay."
Yeah, and I guess there's another article that came out today, and we spoke about this earlier too. That the Biden had the opportunity to seize control of the entire city of Kabul,
and
he declined.
Yep. All I need is the airport.
Yep.
So they said, okay, we'll take the city.
Yep. We could have been there doing our own fucking security perimeter. We could have been fucking vetting our own people. They can try and play it like they were trying to preserve American life all they want, but at the end of the day, look where we are now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
again, I could fucking talk about this all fucking night because it enrages me to my core. But just again, we'll give our thoughts and our prayers to the families and loved ones of the men and women that lost their lives the other day, and we also give our thoughts and prayers to the people that are over there actually in the fucking fight currently trying to get people out. Godspeed, and I hope you guys get home safe.
Yeah. Amen.
On that note, we're going to shift gears a little bit, get into a little bit of a lighter subject.
Yeah.
We really, both of us kind of thought that it's really good for us to kind of dive into the family dynamic of being, I guess, a veteran and reintegrating with your family after deployment, after service, and kind of what that looks like. So especially as far as having children and your spouse, those are the most important people, the people you spend the most time with, and definitely a challenge. So Tyler, what do you got to say to start it off, brother?
Well, I mean, I know we've touched on it a little bit here and there with some of our other episodes, but I don't think we've really gotten into like the kids side of it, coming back and that side of the reintegration, and just how much, I guess, soul searching you have to do to really kind of figure out. Well, I'll just say for me, when I left, when I deployed, my son was 10 months old. I came home and he's almost 2 years old, and now I got this walking, talking, eating and shitting little machine, and my wife is working full time, and I had just gotten out, so didn't know what to do. I had this little guy who was so foreign to me, who I was responsible for, and I'm used to being with fucking soldiers, and having just gotten back from deployment is a little bit like rough around the edges still. It takes a few months to like, I guess, decompress from that tempo. So after I did that, I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. There's no adverse effects carrying over. I went through my first few months of just numbness, and now I'm good. But then I realized through just through life, man, my day in and day out routine, and how I wasn't really connecting, even though I was there, and I felt like, okay, I'm not a robot anymore. But then I talked to my wife, and she's like, you're 100% still a robot. You treat your kids like they're your little soldiers, and there's no like affection there, there's no emotion there. It's very robotic. That's what she always put it back to. So it is hard when you get out, figuring out how to not just reintegrate civilian life, and how to act, and how to control certain anxieties or angers about things, or dealing with reintegration with your wife or other family members, but specifically, like, I just remember my kids, because even now it's still hard for me when it comes to my kids. Catch myself just kind of real quick fuse on certain things that I shouldn't have. And I'm at the point now where I think I've kind of set up those filters for myself, so I know, like, I get that red flag in my head, like, okay, here, like, stop. I'm being a little too much. Like, he's 7, he's 8,
Right.
chill the fuck out. They're kids. They're going to be kids. And I mean, I know everybody has that to a certain extent, but I feel like um, with prior service, you have like this respect thing that younger kids, they're not going to fucking understand it. But in your head, it's just so seared into this whole thing of respect and what it means. And it does kind of, it varies by person, I guess. But for me, if there was anything that I deemed disrespectful, it didn't matter if he was 4 or 5 or 10 or 11. It was just automatically
0 to 100.
anger. Yeah,
Yeah.
real quick. And unfortunately, I mean, that does still happen from time to time, but it's not as bad as it was. Because like I said, I can notice it a lot sooner on when I'm about to have conversations or something's happening with my kids. Now I beforehand try and set myself up mentally before going into it, because I know like certain triggers for me. So I think it's just that learning process, and it takes a long fucking time, at least it did for me, to be able to really decipher, differentiate, like, yeah, I'm raising boys and I want them to be good men, but I'm also at the same time raising boys. They're still boys. They're still, little kids. So it's a learning process. There's definitely a learning curve there, and I think it's different for everybody depending on what you hold. I think it depends on your value structure, your moral presets as a person, that will make people have different triggers here or there, but overall you're going to have something. So just learning to try and be still in a moment versus just immediately reactive, um just calming yourself and being slow to speak before reacting, in a aggressive way that's maybe not warranted. Because I mean, there are times where it's like, that kid deserves an ass whooping, and
Yeah.
that kid gets an ass whooping. But there's other times where it's just like, dude, you're a fucking dick. Like the kid's 8. And so yeah, it's definitely it, it, it's a learning game. But yeah, that's me. I mean, I know, you and I have talked, and you kind of got some of the same issues. We both got some boys and about the same age. So I mean, I don't know, I know respect's a big one for you, but I mean, is it kind of the same as what I'm saying, or is there something different?
No, for sure. I think that the way I kind of break mine down is that there was
Mhm.
like dad in the military and dad after the military. So dad in the military did not have a lot of time. I was very fun dad, and the only kid really I spent a ton of time with when I was in the military was my daughter, my middle child. My oldest son was with my first wife until recently. Actually, not recently. It's been almost 5 years now. But
Yeah.
um, and then my middle son didn't come until pretty much right when I was getting ready to get out, and then my baby boy didn't get until I was out of the service. So I was kind of a real fun dad while I was in the service because I didn't spend a lot of time at home. So when I
Yeah.
was there, I was just happy go lucky, wanted to play with my daughter a lot, spend a lot of time with her,
Right.
create that daddy daughter bond. Um,
Almost like a Disneyland dad. Like
right.
if you were separated from your spouse, when you come home, it's just like, try and get 3 fucking months of time with your kid and compacted into a 1 week time phase. Like,
Absolutely. So I didn't
uh,
really do much of the disciplinary stuff with her at all. I didn't really. I mean, all the time that I did spend with her was just mostly good, happy time, just because I wanted to cherished that time because I knew I was going to be training. I knew I was going to be deploying. I knew I was going to be going all over the fucking place. When I got out of the Army, on the other hand, I had much more time to be a fuck up. But also during that time I was fucking up, I had to also be a dad. And that was a very difficult time to navigate, because I was in no way prepared to do that. So I made a fucking shit ton of mistakes during that time frame. So I won't go deep into that whole spiel, but just to kind of reel it back into what you were saying, respect is absolutely a big, big thing for me as far as the children are concerned. And I'm kind of that same way. If I perceive something as disrespectful, it's like, I'm here now, I'm way the fuck up here.
Mhm.
You just rolled your fucking eyes at your mother. Who?
Yeah. Here
Um,
we go.
yeah, but I have also, this is mostly with my oldest son, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he hasn't been with me his whole life. He's fucking about to turn, he'll be 15 early part of next year, so he's starting to smell himself a little bit, you know. But yeah, that is definitely been an issue. But I think the biggest thing I had was just my, I guess my pre-military adolescence, and just being, I wanted to kind of just be numb, and then being numb, drink and party. So I didn't really do all the things as a dad that I should have done. And I did not know how. And a lot can be said. I didn't know how because of my upbringing, you could say that, but I think a lot of it was just like, we spoke about this, I think, in our first podcast. It's just like I was so mixed up and confused about what the fuck I was going to do with the rest of my life that I put being a father on the back burner. And it's
Right.
fucking shitty, and as horrible as that sounds, it's the truth. I have to own it, and I've done my best to try and make up for it. But that was the most difficult thing for me, was not putting being a father first. I was partying and drinking, and then having to understand, like, dude, you're gonna fucking ruin your relationships with your children, and you're gonna be one of these dads that their kids fucking hate.
Right.
And it's not like, oh, they're gonna hate me because I'm strict and I'm make them lead structured lives and do chores. They're gonna fucking hate me because I was a piece of shit dad.
Right.
Well, that was harsh to call myself a piece of shit dad. But
No, that's the thought that you have in your head when you're going
right,
through that. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
right. But yeah, that's I think that was the most difficult thing to navigate, that period. And it was years. I mean, it was probably 4 years, 3 years that I went through that process of like, hey, I want to fucking drink, I want to chase women, I want to fucking do all the stupid shit. Another thing that really helped me kind of reel it in, was when I met my current wife, Vanessa. And she did something to me that no one ever really did, and she held me accountable.
Right.
So I didn't have anybody to hold me accountable. I just kind of went through life and fucked up. And when I was done with the relationship, I just dipped out. I would make it work with the kids as I could. But when I met her, she was like, no, you're either going to conduct yourself like a real man, or you can fucking kick rocks. And
What?
and I was like, exactly. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bro.
No woman's ever told me this before.
Yeah, man.
But it really did push me to grow up and own my shit, and get myself back to wanting to be a good parent and a good father. And dude, like, you and I talk about this shit all the fucking time, man. I struggle every fucking day, just to be a parent and a good father and good husband. But overall, it's a 180-degree change from some of the things that I was going through when I first got out. That first reintegration was difficult for me.
Bro, preaching to the choir. That shit was not fun. It wasn't fun because you don't know who the fuck you are, what the fuck you're doing. You honestly don't know who your family is. You've been gone. I mean, yeah, you've been on deployment, so you've been gone for a year, but realistically, you've been gone for 4 years, 6 years, however long you were in the military. That's why everybody in the military gets fucking divorced, because you fucking leave the house at 4:30 in the morning and you come back. What would you say average? 1800?
Oh yeah, that's
I mean, as long as you don't have any kind of layout or anything fucking extra stupid going on,
that's probably average. Yeah.
you're fucking dog ass tired. You get home, you fucking eat, and you fucking go to bed, hang out, watch TV for a couple hours, and basically zone out, or zone out on fucking some Call of Duty, whatever it is. And then even when you're in garrison, you're still fucking going out for an FTX for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. Go to NTC before you deploy for a fucking month. You're always doing fucking something. And there's a tempo there that they try and keep you in, and you're with your unit. And so even though you're with your family in garrison, you're not really there in spirit. You're very I mean, they call it like hyper vigilant, but you're just super. It's a fucking, that ops tempo, them trying to get you to that tempo, especially if you haven't deployed yet, so you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It takes a lot from a young person's psyche to know where you're lacking in the sense of your family or you yourself. So many people fucking lose who they are, lose their identity. I did. I know you did. I mean, it took me 4 fucking years to figure out anything. I got out and I was just like fucking blowing in the wind. Like the best job, like the only job that ever meant shit to me is gone. Like there will be nothing else like this. It's just going to be a paycheck. And oh, by the way, nobody needs me to blow anything up, so no one's going to fucking hire me for shit. So
Right.
you're just in that fucking, and then your family deals with the brunt of it. Then they finally get you back and they're like, oh cool, like daddy's back, my husband's back, my wife's back, if you're the other end of the spouse timeline there, or the whatever you want to call it. But anyways, I mean, you get out and then you're just this somber fucking mopey. I mean, maybe it's not for everybody, but for me, it's just like, I don't know who the fuck I am. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I got a family. I don't have my brothers anymore. You feel like a fucking reject. Civilians, all they do is piss you the fuck off. And you're just fucking lost. You're just stuck, and so many people stay stuck. And that's why, I mean, I know plenty of people, I know you do too, fucking guys that either fucking kill themselves or fucking end up hardcore to drugs, go to jail. Thank God, you and I had our fucking stint with drugs for a while.
Exploits.
A good long while. Yeah, did our dirt in and out. But thank God, grace of God, we got past it. We got sobered up and realized that we have to carry on. We got fucking people counting on us. And I mean, that's probably a saving grace right there, because a lot of people don't have families, and so they just kind of fade away into the background there. Whereas with us, thank God we had people sitting there like, hey, what are we gonna do for bills? Hey, how are we gonna feed these kids? Hey, you know what I mean? Like, thank God we had at least something to try and snap us out of that while we were going through. Because even still, I mean, I mean, it really did take me probably good 4 years to 3.5, 4 years to get my shit straight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think I was talking to a good friend of mine. You know him today. His name is Cordero. Shout out Johnny Boy.
Uh-oh.
Um, the well, I can't say for everyone, but I was having this specific conversation with him today, and
Yeah.
I was asking him, and I was like, dude, do you think that your mindset and your mentality changed in your short? Because he was only in the service for 3 years. I
Mhm.
think your mentality and your mindset changed, and he was like, no, bro. He said, I think I completely changed as a person in those 3 years.
Yeah.
And shit, Johnny, I think, is fucking 38 years old now. So imagine he's lived 38 years on this earth
Yeah.
and 3 years in the United States
35 to
Army.
38.
Yeah,
Change it all.
he fucking changed his entire life. And so
Yeah.
that's I think that's something that maybe someone that's listening to this podcast that doesn't know military. And again, I'm not sure if this is the same for everybody. I only know people that I've had these conversations with, people that are close to me, and they all say the same thing or something similar. And for me, it was 6.5 years. So I'm 35. 6.5 years of my 35-year life completely changed who I was as a human being. I mean, not to my core, obviously, but overall, I was a completely different person when I got out of the army versus when I went in. And I think that definitely plays the biggest dynamic in your family, and especially in your extended family. Like you go into
Mhm.
the service, your extended family knows you as this. I mean, you were fucking what, 20 when you joined?
Yeah.
I was 22, so they knew me as like this little fucking knucklehead kid that just went in. I was doing construction, fucking around, drinking, chasing women, whatever. And then
You
I
were still
came.
drinking and chasing women.
Uh, yeah, but I was doing it on a different level.
This is true. This is
Yeah,
true.
I was doing it on a far different level.
Yeah. No, man. Totally. I mean, like you said, I went in when I was 20. I came back home when I was 25. And yeah, I can also remember like the number one thing that would just piss me the fuck off was my mom and my wife. Number one and number two people are just like, you've changed. You're not the same person. I'm just like, fuck off. Like, what are you talking about? Like, just didn't get it. And then finally you're like, all right, like maybe there's something to what they're saying. And then I think that's kind of when it starts. Some people, you don't want to look at it. And so like we did, you kind of bury that shit with
Mask it,
drugs and partying and alcohol because you don't want to fucking,
bitches.
yeah.
I ain't just joking.
I kid. You go out and do your shit because one, you have freedom finally. I mean, when we went in, we were young. You get out and you've lived a little bit, but you haven't really gotten a chance to do anything according to you. We were adults for like 13 minutes, and then all of a sudden, you know, you got the army fucking telling you what to do every fucking day. So, yeah, you kind of just get lost in a lot of selfishness and a lot of just not wanting to deal with shit when you get out, and you just start fucking pouring that shit on, man. Literally and figuratively. So, you know, thank God we were able to get out of it. A lot of people don't though. But I really do think for me, it was my wife and my mom just saying how much I changed. And then I'm like, okay, like they know me. So maybe there's something to it. Finally started like really trying to take an inward look after a while when shit was getting really bad for me after I'd been out for a few years and getting pretty heavy into drugs and partying and doing my thing. I was like, all right, you know, maybe there's something to what they're saying. And it's I mean, you and I both know there's still a long way to fucking go. You're never that old person's always still there.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah, and it's fucking dude. whenever I fucking hang out with the old crew from fucking deployment, or when me and you get together, I'm not saying that the old douchebag fucking drunk woman chaser comes back out. By no stretch of the imagination does that happen, but we toss back a few.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's that camaraderie. It's that familiarity. Um, to be able to reminisce and try to, I don't know, it's almost like we try when we get back together to like bring back the old days.
Yeah.
It's like that drunk who never left his hometown, and you go back in your 40s and he's still sitting at the fucking local bar telling everybody about his
Your
high
high
school
school football
football
days.
exploits. And
I
it's like,
throw
I
fucking
don't.
pigskin over that mountain over
Hey, you
there,
want to
boy.
see all those mountains? Yeah, and that's definitely not the guy I want to fucking be. But it's also nice to fucking sit back with your boys and just fucking like remember shit, and that's kind of what makes the journey worth it, to realize how far you fucking come.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys do get stuck, but it's nice. I thank God every day that we didn't. I mean, we did for a while. We've got pretty fucked off, but we were able to reconcile a lot of shit that we were going through and help ourselves to that next level, to where we could be husbands and fathers that our family fucking needed us to be.
I think for me that one of my saving graces has been, again, I'm gonna speak about my wife, because I spoke to the fact that she holds me accountable. She still holds me accountable, which is good for me. I'm the type of person,
Mhm.
I have to have that, because if I have no accountability, I'm going to be um doing the thug dizzle, if you will.
Here, here,
Yeah.
here, here.
And I think
Yep.
there's a lot to be said. So you do have to make changes from that person that you were,
Yeah.
and not being a drunk, and not being a derelict, and not fucking off all the time. But there is something to be said too about your family changing certain things about how they operate with you. And I'm not saying that they walk around on eggshells or anything crazy like that, but my wife now knows me. She didn't know me in the army, but she knows me now. So she has learned there are certain things about me that, I don't like to use the word trigger. It's not my fucking,
It's such a
not my,
progressive term.
yeah, I fucking hate that word. But I guess you would say that something fucking triggers me or sets me off. She knows
Yeah.
those things, and she will do everything that she can to try, not her herself, but even to not put me in situations where I might have those triggers.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and try and sound like some fucking shell shock World War II vet, but there's certain things that make me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And especially so after I got back from deployment, and even to this day, there are things that I'm uncomfortable in certain settings, and she goes out of her way to make sure that I don't have to be in those settings.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's something to be said about that, when your family is growing with you also, to help you get through some of those fucking times. And I know for a fact your situation is similar, because you've been with your wife for fucking 900 years.
Roughly.
So
Yeah.
she's been fucking growing with you, um, the entire life of Methuselah.
Yeah, man. We just had our 13th wedding anniversary this year. And actually, seeing as how it's after midnight tonight, tomorrow is my beautiful bride's 33rd birthday. She's
Happy
getting up
birthday,
there.
Monequa.
Yeah, so she's I don't know. I guess you could still say 33 is early 30s. I'd say what, 34, 36 is mid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she got a year left of her early 30s. But yeah, a little shout out there, babe. Um, yeah, man, it's a hell of a ride. We lucked out with some fucking strong women, And let's be honest, that kind of bites us in the ass too, because they are strong women.
Absolutely.
So
That whole accountability thing I was talking about.
yeah, but it's what our fucking derelict asses fucking need is someone to fucking give us a swift kick in the rear from time to time to
Oh,
let us
boot
know.
and a hiney.
Yeah, man, we fucking
Well, just
we need it.
it just so happens that I've been booted in the hiney by your wife as well.
Yeah, man, she's been around since fucking day one. For those of you that don't know, obviously, well, I think we even said in previous episodes we met in Korea, and I brought Monica over after I was there for 2 months. I think she was there. No, she was there 10 months. Yeah, she was there for 10 months. And yeah, I mean, we were the fucking tripod, the three amigos, three musketeers, whatever you want to
Fucking
call
tripod.
it. Fucking tripod. Fucking whenever we're together, and she was always fucking, making us fucking hangover food in the morning and fucking telling us what fuck ups we were when we get in trouble on the weekend, and it was fucking
Yeah, she's definitely always been the mama bear, if you will.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But thank God, because without her, only God, only God knows where we would be right now.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think in many of those situations, it's only because of God that we made it through those situations.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no other explanation.
No, that's the truth. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just I don't know, man. It's such a fucking difficult thing to navigate, and it's still difficult, and I still struggle with it. But overall, some of those things are never gonna go away. Some of those feelings and some of those things that make
yeah,
fucking just regular interactions difficult. But the biggest part is just figuring out how you cope and how you deal with those things, right? And then making sure that you're putting yourself in the situation so that it's easy to navigate, if that makes
hmm
sense. I know that was wordy.
yeah, yeah. No, you have to set up your fucking parameters. You have to know. Dude, just look at it as a fucking you're doing a battlefield overlay. What are the fucking choke points? You know, where where is what's going to get me in trouble? Where should I not go? What should I not do? Look at it from a battlefield standpoint. You have to go into everything that you do with some sort of premeditation, or else you're gonna fucking, like a lot of us, just you know, we can be very very impulsive. Uh,
Oh,
Partially because just that's the way we're wired. It's fun, whether it's fucking dangerous or just something stupid or whatever. There's a big uh, impulse, I think, for a lot of vets. Sometimes just because it's that excitement, it's that adrenaline. So when you don't go into things with a clear head and um, know how you're going to action everything, without knowing, without setting up your mind to say, I'm going in this situation. And you could say, take it from like an alcoholic or an addict standpoint, even just purposing every thought, every action before it fucking happens, and knowing what you're going to say, what you're going to do. And maybe that you're not fucking strong enough to be in that situation, so you need to fucking not put yourself there. But there is a fucking plan in that you can put into place for regular life fucking instances, that
every fucking
can
situation.
really really fucking help
Yeah.
you not get to that point where you're like, fuck, here I am again, did it again, whether that's the fucking hospital or jail cell or courtroom, whatever the fuck it is. You got to take every thought fucking captive. You have to fucking purpose in your mind that you're going to be disciplined and responsible, and not just fuck off when you get out. I mean, everyone's gonna, when you get out, it's gonna fucking happen. So you're gonna fucking blow off your steam, but you have to be able to
Reel
have
yourself
enough
back in.
discipline, to reel yourself back in and to
Yeah.
fucking to make those plans to succeed.
And there's going to be a lot of times where you're not able to reel yourself back in, and that's where you have to have the mindset, and you have to be conscious or cognizant enough to fucking reach out to someone that can help reel your ass back in.
Yep.
And I think that's a lot where you and I have helped each other throughout the years, because we've fucked off a lot together. A lot. But we have also been able to be voices of reason for one another, to be like, bro, you fucking
You're
up,
fucking
dog.
up. Yep.
You
Exactly.
fucking up. You
Mhm.
gotta fucking tighten up that shot group.
Yep. Fucking up church's money.
We don't like to fuck up the church's money, dog.
Yeah, man. I hate to say it, but battle buddies, bro.
Yeah.
Good old battle buddies.
For fucking
mean,
sure.
There's so many guys that get out and just go back home and don't stay in contact with anybody and just fucking fall through the cracks. And it's fucking sad, because all they might have needed was one person to reach out a couple times, even. You gotta fucking run over there every single day and be somebody's fucking full-on sponsor, but lots of times it's just a simple fucking phone call, simple fucking text, checking on somebody for a couple weeks, whatever. Give them some words of wisdom, some words of encouragement. You never know what that other person's fucking how close they are to the end of their fucking rope.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I'll say this too. I'll say that your family is your family, and they are the best people to help you 99.9% of the time.
Yeah.
However, if you spent any significant amount of time in service, no one is going to know what you're going through like someone else that served.
Mm-hmm.
Especially someone that you actually served with.
Right.
So, yes, you rely on your family, like I said, 99.9% of the time, or whatever. But there are those times where you do need to reach out. You need to touch base with your battle buddies.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make sure that, even if it's not for you, man, check in on your fucking people.
Yeah.
I do random spot checks on people that I don't talk to on a regular basis. I call and just say, hey, what's up, man? What are you up to these days? How's it going? How's life treating you? Whatever the fucking case may be. That might just be the fucking thing they need to hear.
Yeah, exactly. And that enabling them to be like at peace with themselves is what is going to enable them to give to their family what they need, so it's going to help that circle. I mean, if they're broken, if they're fucked up, if they have nothing to give, then their family life is just going to get worse and worse and worse until they get divorced, lose their kids, whatever it may be. But if they're able to get some healing and understanding for themselves, they can start to in turn take care of their responsibilities in their family life. And once that action is started, once they're able to give what their family needs, then their family is able to give to them what they need. And it's kind of just that, it's a car, it's a car with a dead battery. They just need that fucking kickstart. And I'm not saying it's a one and fucking done, obviously. Especially depending on what you fucking went through. Maybe you went through some really fucked up shit in your service, but just keep fucking giving them that jump, kickstarting that fucking battery so that they have some fucking gas in the tank to give to those close to them, so that it can in turn be brought back towards them, so that they don't end up in this fucking slump where they feel like they're in the fucking bottom of the hole and no one's fucking lending a hand.
Yeah, you can always reach out to me, and I'll be your crying shoulder.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, the overall theme and of this last part of this podcast is to make sure that this is a podcast about families, to make sure that you're taking care of yourself so that you can be the person that your family needs you to be.
Yeah, man. Self-care, it's number one. If you ain't got nothing, you ain't giving nothing.
Absolutely. And I think you got to find that badass woman or badass man that's going to be there to fucking support you and help you through some of this shit. There's a lot to be said about being with the wrong person. I did it twice before until I found my person.
Third time's a charm, buddy.
Third time's a charm, man. What they call that, the old turkey.
Yeah, 3 in a row.
Yes, sir. So Tyler, you got anything else you want to fucking roll out?
No, man, I think that's it. Just fucking, if we said anything, just fucking know that don't be fucking strong-headed. Don't be fucking strong-willed. Reach out, get some help, because it's not just about you, it's about your family. Your family needs you to be okay, because if you're not okay, they're not okay. So I just drive that home. Don't be proud. We've all gone through some shit, and that's a big fucking spectrum, from a lot to a little, but it doesn't matter. Everything is the individual's perception based on what they've seen, done, been, experienced, whatever, what have you. So just know that you need to get yourself fucking straight. And maybe you're not married, maybe you don't have kids. Everybody's got a mom and a dad. Everybody's got friends to some degree. Everybody's got some sort of family. I don't think there's anybody in this world that literally doesn't fucking know anybody. So don't ever think that you're fucking alone. And you know what? If you are, and you can tell me that you don't have any family or friends, you got me and this fucking guy right here. Fucking reach out whenever. IG, YouTube, DM us. We'll fucking shoot you your email, a fucking phone number, so you can text us whenever. We're here for each other. Fucking get the help you need so you can fucking be a bigger, better fucking you.
Yeah, I would just like to add to that if any family members of veterans or anybody that knows veterans, if you don't know, if you weren't there throughout the whole tenure of their service, reach out to someone that was. Learn some of the stuff that veterans go through, and it's not the same thing for every single veteran. Not every veteran was in combat. Not every veteran killed somebody. Not every veteran was blown up, but every veteran does have a unique feeling and situation surrounding their time in service.
Yeah, definitely.
And the best way to learn about that is to speak to the veteran or to people close to him. And a lot of times that could be veteran brothers and sisters to his left or right. So, that's a big thing too. Family is the base of this podcast. So it's full spectrum, full circle. The veteran being healthy so he can be a good contributing member of the family, and the family understanding what the veteran needs, and what the veteran needs help with.
Yeah.
So
good shit, man.
Yeah, I think on that, we'll leave you all until next week's episode of Double Tap Fatigues and Slacks.
Until next time, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Deuces, ladies and gentlemen.
See ya.